Hey everybody, it's Rye, and something I want to share briefly. First of all, the Let's Play for today is going to be slightly delayed, probably going to be up, dark early, later on this evening, but I'm probably thinking 1 or 2 a.m. Slight delays, nothing major, and everything's all good now. Some technical glitches, as they are prone to happen, but not to worry. The actual reason for this particular installment, though, was something that I recognize about myself that I'm actually quite proud of, and maybe you find yourself in a similar boat. Whenever I'm playing multiplayer games, and if you've ever seen Undertale, and a couple of the other Let's Plays I do, I can get pretty damn angry. But multiplayer games are a special kind of angry. When I'm playing single player and I get pissed off with it, I'm just angry because the game is beating me. It's thrown something at me that I haven't figured out yet. And I'm angry because I'm energized to beat it. I want to win. I really, really like winning. Super competitive. And when you're playing multiplayer games, that can be a little bit toxic. When I'm playing with other people, if I'm sitting around a table playing a board game, I'm good. I'm pretty good. I can get a little saucy when I'm winning, but other than that, it's nothing like I'm flipping the table or throwing dice at people. Nothing quite that bad. When I'm playing an online multiplayer game and I start losing, I can get pretty damn vicious. And it's times like that where I'm super glad that none of the other players can hear me, because I go from being a very calm, quiet, friendly guy to somebody who would make a sailor blush. It's honestly pretty embarrassing. And so for that reason, I tend to steer towards multiplayer games where it's cooperative, because those play more into my wheelhouse, not only in working together as a team to solve a problem, but also because we're not trying to compete against each other. We're all working towards a common goal. So the only competition really is against the game itself and whatever puzzles or problems it throws at us. And those can be frustrating for sure, but nothing quite packs the same sort of rage-inducing punch as knowing what beat you on the other side of that digital avatar is a person. And the idea that they are either super satisfied that they just got one over on you, or even worse, they're laughing about it. That sends me over the friggin' edge. And because of that, I've had to step away from quite a few multiplayer games. I just couldn't take it. They would get me way too worked up. Like ridiculously worked up. And for a while, I didn't even realize that's what was happening. But over time, I began to see that, wow, this turns me into somebody I really don't like. I'm not sure how to get a handle on this, so until I do, I have to step away. And I did. I did for quite some time. And then I came back to it with, say, multiplayer games like The Last of Us. Or, I'm trying to think of another one that really sent me over the moon. Destiny wasn't too bad, but that's one where I'll end the story on. But Last of Us, if it was a good game, and it's really a 0 to 60 kind of game where if you're winning, it's really good. But if you are losing, it is a steady drop, almost 90-degree sheer plummet to the ground. And it feels horrible because a couple guys will go down. And then it'll be you and another dude. And then you'll get jumped. And by the time you die, one of the other guys comes back. And it turns into this trickle where you just can't get it together. The team is fractured and broken up. There's at best 2 guys alive at any given time. And you just keep getting ganked moment after moment until finally you're the last man standing. And it doesn't matter how many bombs or machetes you pull out of that crate. You are screwed. And then you get to see just how badly you did at the end of the game with the number of deaths you had versus the number of kills and takedowns, and it's just soul-crushing if you're a super competitive person, which I am, so yeah, kind of self-explanatory, isn't it? I had to step away from that because it made me super angry. Even worse, I would notice if I was playing with friends, that anger would eventually trickle over to them, and they would start getting super angry the same way I did, and I'm like, this is infectious crap. I gotta cut this out. And over the last couple weeks, when I've jumped back in on Destiny playing multiplayer there, I realized I had gotten a lot better. I mean, there were a couple games I won, and I'm just like, yes! Because, who doesn't like winning? Winning is the best feeling. But then I lost 5 straight games in a row. Now, if this were old me, oh man, I would have been throwing out a couple of 4-letter $5 words. And instead, I'm just going crap. Shoot. Well, you know what? I didn't do that badly. I still got a little bit of something out of this. This is not too bad. All right, well, we'll try this again. I was very accepting of my defeats, and it was weird because I kept waiting for the straw to break the camel's back and one of those losses to just send me over the moon. Never happened. Didn't happen once. So all this to say, and I wish I could tell you some sort of technique that I had for managing it. Maybe time away and the other things I do in my life helped me, manage some sort of self-awareness into what sort of things set me off. But all of this to say that if you yourself find that you just get ungodly angry when you're playing multiplayer video games, I would recommend taking a step away. Don't stop playing games altogether. Stop playing the multiplayer aspect of them. If that's all the game is, stop playing that game. Give it some time, give it some space. Distance might actually be the best medicine. And I suppose on the side of that, if you don't do any sort of exercise regimen like running or just hitting the weights, something like that, that's just good health anyways. But certainly helps get some of that tension and aggression out. So I don't know, maybe that could help as well. I'm not a fitness professional. I couldn't say for sure. All this to say that if you do find yourself in a video game rage spiral, there is hope at the end of the tunnel, and sometimes it's as simple as putting the controller down and walking away. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you find that you're in a similar sort of boat, or that you know people who are in a similar boat and you got some stories of your own to share, maybe some tips on how to manage that kind of thing, by all means, share them in the comments below. I'd be very interested to see what you have to say. But until next time, as always, my name's Rye. You guys take care of yourselves.